this video later on. Steve Burns here. We're here at the Wonderfest 2021. Thank you, Wonderfest, for having me here. Thank you, Brian, for being so gracious with me. Right. Brian Liddon here. So this is great. We have a packed room. And all right, so designing 3D. I am in Bridge. And in Bridge, I'm going to kind of move this out of the way so that we can kind of see what's going on. In Bridge, you're going to use this to kind of work out your ideas. Now, whenever you're creating anything in 3D, always have a reference, have a reference, have a reference. That's how you learn this stuff the best, okay? And what I've done is I've got several references here, as you can see. I'm holding the space bar down to actually go to full view and inside of Bridge. But Bridge is a software that allows you to kind of preview imagery. There we go, right here. So I'm always using references, and I'm going to actually use references inside the software itself. So I'll always have a visual cue as to how I'm designing and where the design is going. And those references, I'm going to show you what I'm using for the software is right there, okay? So I did a grayed out background in Photoshop, kept the black line grayed out background so it's less distracting visually. And I've got my front view, my side view, and my top view, and as you can see, they're lined up exactly, accurately with one another. So when I bring this into the software, then I can design accurately. So if anybody has any questions, stop me anytime and ask. Okay, we'll get a little bit of a dialogue going here. All right, so I'm going to, so this is what you're going to eventually end up printing out. So you're going to need to strategize all the time. There is no one way or right way to design something for 3D printing. You just have to figure out what is best for you, what's best for your client, and just figure it out from there. So I'm looking at this phaser. I'm thinking, okay, print the nozzle. This I want to print in clear, right? So I have to think about that. I want to print that in clear. That's going to be a separate piece. I want this here to be another separate piece. I want the body here to be my third piece. Obviously, the type 1 phaser on the top here, I want that to be its own piece, right? The handle is going to be another piece. So you're going to think about how you want to design this. So, all right, let's get inside of Blender. And I've already created something with the images in there just so I can save time because an hour is not enough time to do this. So I'm going to go get that image. I'm going to go to Open. And I have one called Background Only. I think I named it. Background Only right there. There it is. Okay. So there's my setup. Okay. So there's my setup. And for the recording, I have to apologize for those who will be watching this recording later on, but we're using a smaller resolution to adapt to our projector. All right, so my side view, I got them all lined up in there. Now, does anybody need to know how I actually created in here? You don't? Yeah. Yes? Yeah, okay, I'm going to show. If I see here a yes, the yes wins, no matter what. All right, what these are basically 3D objects called image maps, okay? In order to bring this in, it's really, really simple. Here's some basic keyboard shortcuts you need to know in Blender. How to go to your front view, how to go to your side view, how to go to your top view, right? Number 1 is always your front view. The number 3, we're going to go, odd numbers. Number 3 is going to be your side view. And then number 7 is your top view. It's that simple, right? So 1, 3, 7, right? If you want to go back to perspective view, hold the Alt or Option key on your keyboard and just click and drag and it automatically goes there. I mean, you could use the shortcut number 5.
You have a PC.
Doesn't matter. PC and Mac is the same shortcuts. Alt is Option, Command is Control. That's why I say both.
I just don't want someone looking for their Option key and then deciding to commit harakiri.
Well, if they want to commit harakiri, that is not our problem.
Step 1, the Option key, I can't do that.
If they want to die over this, that's their problem. I want to create cool stuff. Okay? All right. So there it is. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Go to the front view. Here's the key. You have 2 modes in Blender. your editing mode for designing your stuff, and your object mode to move your stuff around. I want to say move your shit around, but I'm trying to keep this PC. And the way you adapt between both modes is hit the tab key on your keyboard, right? Hitting the tab key on your keyboard. Let's get out of here. So if I go to object mode, I'm in the mode that I can actually bring images in. Now, how do I do that? Go to bridge. We'll bring in something different. We'll bring in that one just for fun of it, right? Offset bridge a little bit off to the side. Click and drag it and release it. That's it. It's that simple, right? So now, if I go into Blender, Alt, remember, there it is. Do I need that? No. So it's selected. It will show up over here. It'll be called empty. I don't want it. Hit delete. It's gone. Okay. All right. Now we're going to start designing. 1, 3, 7. All right. So keep that in mind. So every time I do that, every time you see me switching, you know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going. Let's go to the side view number 3. We're going to start planning out together what we need to do. So we're going to be using primitives. Primitives are pre-designed shapes. You're going to be designing everything you ever want to imagine with primitives. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. Could you do it point by point? Yeah, but that's OCD's business. We don't do that. Okay. So I'm going to go get a primitive. The way you access all of your primitives and all of your tools is a shortcut using called Shift A. So Shift A, and it gives you these different menu systems. We want the mesh, and the mesh we want is going to be a cube. So I'm going to select it, and there's my cube. Now, this cube I can adapt. I can resize. So I can click dead center and move it wherever I want, right? Or I can use a shortcut key called S for scale, and I can decide to just resize it down. I'm going to put it about like this, and then a left click will commit my changes. And let's go scope this out. We're going to start with the body. I'm going to go drag it right down here to the bottom. Or I'll use the top at first. I'm going to try to get it about the same thickness as this top portion here. And right here, I'm using this option right down here. It's called the transform option. This allows me to transform it from top to bottom or rotate it all in one. So I'm going to Control and Alt together, and the left drag up and down allows me to resize. Alt and Shift held down together and left click allows me to pan. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get in close so you guys can see this easier, and so I can see it easier. And I'm going to take this little option to resize on the Y-axis. Okay, that looks good right about there. Now I'm going to take this and bring it down. Go hit that top arrow there, drag it straight down, and put it right here at the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I need to grab that top polygon. Now I need to go to the edit mode. So I hit the tab key, click on edit mode, right? Now I can edit my points, my edges, and my polys. If I click anywhere, it deselects everything. Now here's the trick. The number 1 key on the keyboard is for selecting your points. The number 2 key is for selecting your edges. The number 3 key is for selecting your surfaces or your polys. I want to grab my poly, click and drag, and this is the newest version of Blender. It was released 2 days ago. Blender is a free software, and it's damn good. The Maya people are dropping Maya and are going to Blender. It's a professional, tried and proven, ready for production software, and it's a pain in the ass to learn. Okay, 3D is not for the faint of heart. So if anybody wants to come in, they can come in and sit in the middle aisle here. I saw people looking in back there. Okay, here we go. The top. Now, if I want to make sure that top is selected accurately, Alt or Option to drop me out of this view to take me into the perspective view. Okay, it looks good. Hit number 3 again to go right on back. Now, come over here, Transform tool. Bring it up. I'm going to bring it up to right about there. Okay? All right. So what I want to do next from here is I want to extend another piece because I need a section going off to the right And I also need another section extending to the top. I'm going to do the stop top first. The shortcut for extending anything is, what do you think? E. Hit the E, it automatically, it's going to extend it along its normal, right? I'm going to go and left click and it commits it. Okay.
Not two separate objects?
That is not two separate objects. That is an extension of polys on one object. So if I click and drag it here, and kind of pull it on over here. Here's another little option I think you guys might enjoy. If I go to my edit menu, go to my preferences, and those shortcuts I just mentioned about navigating, you'll find those in the, I think it's under the input. You emulate 3-button mouse. Make sure that is checked. Okay. There's another one too that I'm trying to remember. I think it's under. It's for allowing me to rotate around my selected objects. I think it's under navigation.
Orbit around selection.
What was that?
Orbit around selection.
That's it. Do you see it up top? That's it, right there. Okay. Once that's selected, it'll orbit around whatever I have selected. I find that very handy. All right. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to zoom this down a little bit, bring it to the side, and let's go get this side over here. So I'm going to come over here, grab this polygon, make sure I'm in edit mode, by the way. Go to edit mode, rotate this around, and go grab this. So it's still, oh, I'm in point, sorry. What key do I need for polys? Excellent. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a test afterwards. So there we go. Hit the 3 key, go back to this mode here. I'm going to zoom back a little bit, and I'm going to extend this with the what key? E. Yes, sir.
So it's rather than just that polygon with the extension axis of a different polygon?
So the question is that why is it going to extend from this polygon? And the reason why it's going to extend from that polygon is because it's selected. Oh, yes. Okay, that's a good question. So the question is are these two separate polygons when I actually split these two from the extension? That is correct. They're now two separate surfaces. Okay? So if I hit the E key, it's only going to extend off that one. Now watch where I'm going. I'm going to go right to the beginning. See this little bottom handle thing right down here? I'm strategizing, right? I'm putting these in a position for a reason. All right, so let's keep thinking. I am going to go to right about, before I even go any further, let's do this. Let me go back a little bit. I'm going to go back one step, all right? Go to the top view. And the reason I'm stopping here is because I want to make sure this matches from the top view. I wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to go to the tab key, go to my object mode, make sure this is stretched properly from the top view. I'm going to go back to my edit mode, and I'm going to grab number 3 key and grab my polygon. And then if you take a look at the shape, this has to come out like this.
Grab the point to do that?
I grab, in this case, I just grabbed the surface because I want that entire surface to actually come outward. I could have grabbed the points, but I'm trying to do this as fast as possible because time is money. So hit the 3 key, go back to the side mode, get rid of that, and I'm going to target just this for, there it is. And if I want to double check, it's there. Now, let's go back to work. E key, pull it right about there. Number 2 key for the edge, grab that edge, boom. Number 3 key, grab that face. E key, extend, left click. Bring that down to there. Yes, I'm listening. Go for it. Very good question. Do we smooth this out later? Yes. At this stage of the game, there is no detail, no detail, no detail. The minute you start putting detail in, you're going to screw it up. I guarantee you. No detail. Just keep it simple. All right, get rid of this one. I'm going to go to number 2 key for edge selection. Bring it up. Okay, 3 key, face, E key, move. Okay.
Now, how do you determine how far you're going? You're just kind of somewhat random?
So the question is, how do I determine how far I go? The plans tell me how far to go. It tells me that, let me show you this. Let me go ahead and grab this edge here. It tells me if I want to keep this curve, that should be good enough to keep the curve. The problem is you know the software, you know what it's going to do when it smooths it out. So then you would understand that this is good enough.
Okay.
Right? If I need to put in more points or lines, I can do it later. So I'm not stressing. Why? Because I do not want detail. Keep it simple. Okay, let's go back to work. Number 3 key for the polyface. Grab that polyface right there. E key for extended, and I'm going to bring it to there. Commit my changes, bring it up. Number 2 key for the edge, grab the edge and bring it up. See? All right. Now, just for fun of it, take a look at it. Okay, cool. Look, it's getting there. It's getting there. Hit 3 key, go back. Time to go back to work. Now, I stopped here. I started here. These little sections here, where this bottom portion of the handle is, I stopped at each of these sides for a reason. Because I know I want to extrude a shape out of this. So I have to make sure I have the polygons in place. All right. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to extend this out. Number 3 key, same thing, same work mode. E key for extend. I think I can probably take this to right about there. That'll be good enough. Click it, bring it up, push this back to here. That's really where I want it to go. Why do I want it there? That's right. If you take a look at this, this needs to extend up. So I got to strategize. Okay, I need some. Matter of fact, I might want to grab that surface and just move it out a little bit more. I'm being anal at this point. Okay, so I'm going to push it on back, and let's extend this again. E for extend. Pull it on out to here. Left click. Right. I can just click in the middle, put that about where I want it to go. Go to the number 2 key for the edge, and then place the edge where I want it, just like that. Making sense? Okay, let's go get the surface right there and do what? Excellent. Extrude, just like that. Done. Hit the number 2 key. The number 2 key. Grab that piece. Making sense? All right, so we're not done. Go to the 7. If I hit the home key, it fits everything in the view. But it's also including my cameras and my lights. So if I go to the cameras are off, but it doesn't matter. I'll just zoom in and manually zoom in forward. Now I know that this phaser actually tapers, right? It's not going straight back, and we can see this from the design underneath. So what we're going to do, let's go back to here. Let's get in close. And right about, let me go hit number 2, and right about there, that edge there, I want to start there. So I'm going to tell you what we'll do is I'm going to come right over here, and I'm going to select everything. You're going to see why in just a moment. From this edge back. So number 3 key on the keyboard. Let's see if I got that there. Did that work? I think that worked. I'm going to Control plus. allows me to extend the selection. Control minus allows me to retract the selections. So from here, okay, I'm gonna go to the top view, and I'm gonna start to just manually taper this. So just so that just for educational purposes. So I'm gonna pull that in just a little bit, Control minus. Pull that in just a little bit, Control minus. There we go, and I'm gonna pull that a little bit, Control minus. Pull that in. See where we're going? Control minus. We're almost done. Pull that in a little bit, and we're almost matching the back end where we need it to go. Control minus again. Just a little bit. Control minus. Okay, I think that's going to work. Yep, I think that's pretty close. Okay, so now we've got the shape of our phaser. We're done with the body. Alright, so now what we need to do is extend out this little bottom portion here, right? So if we go back to bridge, right, and let's go to, pull this on over here, so I can get this on over. Can I tap on bridge to bring this over? Let's see if I can do this. Okay, so this little section here, I've got to extend out. Okay, so now we have to make that happen. So let's go and grab that. Go right underneath here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm in the polygon select mode. That one. Now, if I selected the wrong thing, so I want that one. Hold the shift key, we'll add to it. Shift key, add that one. So that's the surface I want to extrude something. So what I'm going to do, but there's a little bit of a bevel to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inset those polys. And the shortcut is hitting the I key on the keyboard. And look what I can do. I get to inset a little bit. And I'm going to left click and it commits my changes. I'm going to get in closer so you guys can see it easier. Right? Now if I go to the 3 key, I can now extend that out. See? So now, Alt key, there it is. You've got your extension. Okay, so let's take this and let's extrude this, right? Go to the side view. And if you take a look at it, really, it's really this little thin line up in here. I've exaggerated mine. If I want to be more accurate, I can always bring it up like this and do something like of that sort. Now I'm gonna hit the E key, and it's going to extend that out. Right? Done. All right. So what I'm going to do is straighten this out, and I guess what I'll do is I'll go to number 2 key, select those 2 edges, right, all these edges right there, and just line it up just like this. Go grab this edge there and bring it over. Mine will be a little bit, just inside, but that's all right. You guys get the point. In fact, I might just go ahead and bring this on down. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, Alt click, drag it out. See, there's the bottom portion. Oops, get out of here. There's the bottom portion of our phaser. Is that making sense? All right, so that's the type 2 phaser. Let's do the type 1, the one on top, right? So, no questions at this point?
This is an advanced split.
Oh, it's an advanced class, okay.
So, why at this point have you not done a split and gone to a mirror modifier?
Okay, so the question is, why haven't I done a split and go to a mirror modifier to save time?
Okay.
I only have 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Fair.
So you can actually do half of what you do and have the program mirror it. All 3D software does that. But to save time and actually let you guys get to see a full view of what you expected to see. Someone else had a question.
Going back a little bit, because two-dimensional images, the 2 images that you use for the wireframe.
Yes.
Did you create
That's right. Okay, so the question is that he's noticed I'm using two-dimensional images here that I'm utilizing to create my wireframe. And the question is, did I create those? Yep, I just went online to Google images and found the images, and that's basically in Bridge here, which I can't see much. There we go. I won't move that out of the way again. That's where they came from, right here. So I went to Google Images, found. Actually, I'll show you the actual one I used. I should have it in here. It's right there. That's it. That's the actual one I used.
And then you just kind of slice the pictures out of that.
That is correct. I sliced the pictures out of this, turn them to black and white, make sure the lines are really, really dark, so it's easy to see, and then drop the background to medium gray, from white to medium gray. We don't have time to go over that. All right, but you have, yes, sir.
When you extended the bit to go to the grip, and then you've got 3 polygons across there, and you were lining up the edges, how would you go about combining all 3 of those polygons into one, so you just got one flat surface?
You don't. You don't want to do that.
That's trouble.
Yeah, that's you don't want to. You want to keep those surfaces. How many people do like podcasts here? Nobody does podcasts. What was that?
Listen to them or create them?
Oh, just listen. Just create them. Create them. Create them. No, okay, all right. That was my another question I was going to ask. But anyways, so let's get back into Blender. This is the 3D printing software I want to show you what's going to happen to them once we create them. But anyways, we'll come back to that in just a minute, and we'll move right along. So we're going to come up here. I'm going to quickly create the type 1 phaser, and then we're going to go and do the nozzle. We're not going to have time to finish the whole thing, but it gives you the thought process and the standard techniques you're going to be using to pretty much create anything you want to create in Blender. Blender is very powerful. There's a lot of different tools, so you get to learn all the advanced stuff as you kind of move along. All right, so here is my. Let's go to the top one. Now, over here to the right is your collection view. Yes, sir. That's what I'm getting ready to do next. Yeah, watch me. I'm going to show you how to do it separately. Okay. So here is a view of all my different. Actually, I think this was a square that was already in there. I'm going to target that one, and I'm going to delete it because I want to delete everything. Actually. Oh, I can't do that. Well, I'm just turn it off and ignore it. I'm in edit mode. Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry. All right, my fault. I got to go to object mode. There we go. And that's the cube I have targeted. I'm gonna hit delete key. It goes away. Good. All right, get it out of the way. We're gonna do it from scratch so you can see how to add other objects in there. All right, here we go. Shift A. Go to the mesh. I'm going to add another cube, and there's my cube. Now take note. I've got another cube here. Let's see, are they 2 separate? This is very interesting. This is the newest version of the software I just downloaded yesterday. It looks like it automatically did it. It automatically separated. You see 2 separate objects here. Like this is my body, right? The body of the phaser. So I'm going to call this one body. I can double click it and rename it. And I'm going to call this one type 1. All right, so that's going to be the face. This is going to represent the phaser on top. So I can kind of keep organized here. So I will just grab it up here. Now this other stuff that I created here may be in the way visually. So go to the body and turn the eyeball off. And that gets rid of it. If you want it back again, turn the eyeball back on. All right, let's turn it off. Let's go to work. Let's go to my side view here. Let's go ahead and stretch. Oops, I didn't mean to do that one. I want to grab that little guy there and stretch it up to match my type 1 phaser. Okay. move this on over and kind of match so we can match the length of it. And that's all we need to do. Go to my top view, right? And match its thickness. Okay, we're there. Now, here's where the fun begins. How do I split this up to shape it at this point? Cool little tools in Blender. If I'll use the Command or Control R, it gives me a tool. I got to go to edit mode, right? So tab, go to edit mode. Command or Control R, it gives me a tool that adds slices. If I click on that tool, I can move that tool around, move that slice around wherever I want it to go. All right, I'm gonna hit escape key so I don't have any changes. So I'm gonna hit the 3 key and start working from the side view first. Let's go ahead and get in close so we can fill the screen with our object. Now, Command R, go to the side here. I think I'm gonna put one. This is a better way to show you this. I'm gonna need several of these slices, right? Okay, right. Command R, and I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to hit the roll key on my mouse, and it adds in additional slices. And then I can click and hold and drag this wherever. Now, see, actually, there was one in the middle here that I didn't mean it to be there, but here we'll work with it. Okay. If I have a slice, I can still edit this slice. If I right click, I have what's called edge, not edge slice. It's called somebody's coming to ask a question. No? Oh, good. What was that? Where's slide? There it is. Right there. There it is. I can continue to slide it. So say I'm on this one right about there. Double click the slice. It will select the entire slice loop. Right click, edge slide. Put one there. Okay. And double click the loop, edge slide. Right click, edge slide. Yeah, I think that'll work there. I'm going to go double click this one, edge slide. So I'm going to have that little end there. And the rest of these I'm going to leave with. Actually, I'll go ahead and move this one just a little bit. So edge slide. All right. Now let's go ahead and modify this thing.
You just put the slices there so it gives you optimal places
to shape it, right? Could I add more in there? Yeah, but I may not need more. I mean, the more you add in there, the more memory it's going to take from your computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and strategize this one. Let's go ahead and grab all those edges right there. And I'm going to just do this. See, there's one down and go grab, oops, sorry, I don't want that one there. And go grab those right there and edge those down just like that, okay? Then go grab that. It's that easy. See? Are we going? Now I come back over to here, to the back side. We're trying to save time. Go grab all these, right? Right about there. Grab those there. Grab those there. All right, so my time's almost up here, so I'm going to kind of complete this and show you how to round it off. All right, go to top view. All right, same thing. Right? So we go over here, grab all those, edge them. Oops, sorry, let me rotate that. I'm just going to edge these in here, right? See, we're just shaping out that object. That's what I can go to the Control minus view and do that little technique. All right, Control minus, it just drops down. Let me do Control plus again because I went too far on this one. There we go. Control minus, and it's a patient person's game, right? Be patient. Oops. Alright, and Control minus, and there it is. Okay, let's do the front view just real fast. All I need is just those there, right? So just right about there. Maybe pull that in a little more. Okay, Control minus. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go take a look at it. There it is. All right, now, here's how we're going to control it. You want to control the roundness. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a modifier to this. We're in the type 2 phaser. Let's say I'm going to go to my object mode. The object is selected. And I'm going to add a modifier. The modifier that I'm going to add is right down here. It's this little gear system called add modifier. And if I drop it down, I have all these modifiers like bevel and bullion and mirror and all types of stuff we don't have time to get into. But the one I'm interested in is called subdivision surfaces right there. Subdivision surface is going to take those rectangular shapes and it's going to smooth them out into curved edges. And if I click that right now, look what it did. All right, let's get in close. Okay, now we're starting to move in the right direction. You have options for that modifier. Blender is non-destructive, so we can come back and edit this anytime we want. You want a minimum levels of 3. Click it. I can click this symbol here, so I can use my mouse to click and hold and drag it to 2 and then to 3. See, it smoothed it out even more. I'm gonna do the same thing for the render. Now, remember the add edges that I did earlier? That becomes important here, and this is why. Watch. If I turn off, go to simple mode, you got the Catmull-Clark, that's the smoothing algorithm. Simple mode takes you back to this. Now, I want to restrict this curving algorithms to the shape of my phaser here that I've got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in what's called edge loops, right? So the edge loop is going to hold the shape of the piece. So let's start up here. Command R. Oh, I got to go to edit mode, right? Go to edit mode. Command R. Click and hold and move one to there to hold that edge. And left click. I should have probably just did the roller thing, but Command R again and hit and hold that edge, right? Go to simple, get out of simple mode, gotta go to Catmull-Clark. Boom, see? See? Now I'm gonna show you the full visual mode in just a little bit. I want to do the same thing for the top and bottom here, right? So I'm gonna go into simple mode, Command R, put one here, and I'm gonna roll. I'm going to. Oops, that's kind of. I went to the other axis. Okay, let's get out. Let's get escape key. All right. So Command R. I want there. Now roll that so I get 2. That's all I need. And click it. Okay. I'll put one up here. All right, and then down here, go to my edge edit mode. Let me make sure I'm gonna rotate it around. Make sure I get the right edge here. Did I jump out of edit mode somehow? Okay, there we go. If I double click it, it'll do that edge. Right click, and you do an edge slide. Bring it on down to here. That is gonna hold that edge. See that? It's holding those edges. Now we get out of simple. Go to Catmull-Clark. There it is. Okay, so if I go to this mode, so you can see what this is going to look like, it gives you a very good idea where you're going. Is that helpful? Or is that boring? No, it's interesting, isn't it? So let's go to the body just real fast, right? So let's turn off the type 1, turn on the body, and we're going to do the same thing to the body. Go to the edit mode. Go to object mode, click on the object, add a modifier, add subdivision surfaces, boom, right? Make sure it's 3, okay? All right, go to simple mode, let's hold these edges here. So, Command R, oh, gotta go to edit mode, my fault again. Edit mode there, all right? Command R, click and hold that edge. Command R, click and hold that edge. And let's go do the top, the sides here. Command R, click and hold that edge. Command R, click and hold that edge. Okay, now we take a look at it and into Catmull Park. There you go. Is that making sense? So this back end here, or even the top end right up here, is getting really rounded. It's the same thing. So just grab it, put an edge loop in there. Click, it will hold that shape just like this, right? We need a couple more. Okay, we need a couple more to hold the front and the back shape, right? So Command R, hold that shape for the front. Command R, hold the shape for the back end of this top part. Okay? So now go into Catmull Clark. There it is. And it's nice, smooth, and rounded. Okay? Now, see, look, that's even looking pretty good down here. Right? We want this to be a little flatter. And I can stay in Catmull Clark here. Command R, come down here, watch, click and hold, and I can actually move it around so you can actually see how it's really going to affect that section there. And if I want to add one more, because I'm looking at right in here, that's probably a little, I want a little bit less of a smoothness, a little more of a tighter area in here. Command R, come on, find it. Come on, there you go. Click and hold, and see, you can control that. There it is. And then you will 3D print these by saving these out as STL files, standard tessellation. So, file menu, export what? An STL file. And that is the JPEG format that 3D printers understand. Questions? All right. So who wants? Yes.
Well, what if you don't have a line drawing to start out?
Okay, so the question is, what if you don't have a line drawing to start out? Good question, because that's often my situation when people say, Steven, design me a full build Starship Enterprise and use your imagination. So basically what I do is I go in the program and throw some objects in there and just play with them. Well, that's not true. I always go get references. I always go to the internet, look up Starship Enterprise or Constellation class builds, and I look at what everybody else has done, and I'll get ideas and throw them together to make my own. That's basically how I do it. Yes, sir.
Something that's cool for that is there are programs you can get that will help you match perspectives on photos. So like there's a program called F-Spy, where the same photo, you use it to try to figure out the angle that a photo was taken from.
Okay.
So you blend the scene from that angle.
All right, let's go look it up now. F-Spy, you said?
F-Spy, F-Spy.
F-Spy?
Yeah.
All right, we'll look it up. So, is that it for Blender?
Looks like it, yeah. So basically what it can do is it can help you figure out, like, if you have a photo or something,
okay.
it'll help you figure out, like, the camera settings.
Okay, that's not what he's asking, though.
Well, no, what I mean is, like, you use that to figure out perspective, you can then put that photo in your scene.
Right.
And then you can create the objects relative to
Right, okay. So what this is a glorified camera matching style program is what this, I'm familiar with this program. But his specific questions is how do you combine a bunch of ideas to develop a model? And
You could use the F-Spy to set up your camera and throw primitives in that look like roughly the shape already.
that's a good point. That's a good point. So he's saying use this to throw primitives in there to help you kind of get the feel for the look inside the model. There's another question. I saw a hand up. Yes.
Getting back to your excellent statement in Blender,
Yes.
are those surfaces, are those faces NURBS, or are we still calling?
No. Blender is not a NURBS program.
So they're still 4 or 3 sided?
That's right. 4 3-sided is the most. You want to stay with 4-sided shapes in Blender. That is your safest way to work and the most effective way to work.
So they will successfully work in, say, Unity or Unreal?
That's correct. In fact, they've made a plugin for Unity and Unreal for Blender.
I'm so happy. Thank
Oh,
you.
this-
I thought they converted to nerds.
Yeah, well, if you go to Blender Nation, is it called? Blender, real quick. Blender Nation. Yeah, Blender Nation. You can find art tutorials and plugins. It's amazing. What I'm so impressed about Blender is they've got plugins that can do almost everything, and they're cheap. They're 10, 15 bucks, 20 bucks at the most. Right? In Lightwave, if I have to buy a plugin, it's 150 bucks, 300 bucks or more.
And Maya runs
Oh, Maya's even more.
Yeah, $200 a month now.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That's why people are moving to Blender.
They move, but Blender, it works. It actually Blender works like Maya.
I did have one
Yes.
minor question. I'm one of the people that switched from Maya to Blender
Yes.
for my job.
Yes.
And I hate to ask this question for me to be thrown at me, but where I use Maya since
Yeah.
around 2000,
Right.
is there a preferences to set the keyboard shortcuts?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I'll find it. When
You'll find, yeah, it's in the preferences panel. I think my time is up, so we got to do the Adobe giveaway. All right, so here's my question. The first hand I see go up and gets the answer right wins. Let's see, what's the question? So, what should I ask? The keyboard shortcut for top view. Oh, you had your hand up first. No. Got it. Don't you hate that when it happens? Okay, stand over here so I can get I need to get your email address. All right, we'll do another Creative Cloud giveaway. So pay attention. The keyboard shortcut. Okay. When we hit the E key for the extrude tool, in what direction does it extrude the poly? Excellent. I need you too. I need both your emails.
Yep.
That's it, I guess. Am I done? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. I guess I'm done. All right. That's good. So